It is 2023. The school is Guthrie. The sport is wrestling, and the time is now. Wrestling season has officially kicked off. I'm live here with Phil Nichols, and Phil, it's time.
It's wrestling season, brother. I tell you, the thing that's great about this is there's the queen. The thing that's great about this is I always tease people, my buddies that play basketball. I said, yeah, that's cool. You can go play basketball. Us men will be over here wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of fun, a lot of banter back and forth. But I think wrestling is the greatest sport ever invented. I think it's you learn about yourself when you're out there by yourself. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Looking forward. This duel tonight is maybe not feature most of our main starters, but definitely going to feature the future of Guthrie wrestling for sure. We've got a lot of kids from the Little League program, from the junior high, and then some of our high school boys are going to compete tonight for some varsity spots that need filled. So.
Well, and if need be, we got some special guests at the end. we might get to see the real future of Guthrie wrestling at the end, right?
So, for sure.
But, this is an exciting time. We got a packed house, got chili. Everybody brought in chili tonight to share food and have a good time. This is what it's all about. It's about the kids. It's about the community getting out and supporting them. And I tell you, from Little League, which you have a huge part in, all the way up through all of the wrestling family in Guthrie, this is an up-and-coming program. I mean, this is something that's exciting. I mean, the future is very, very bright with Guthrie wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. I know, we've been doing this for probably 10 or 15 years now. Lindsay and I have since Curtis left right before COVID. Things kind of dipped, but then since the year after COVID, wrestling has just took fire in the town of Guthrie. I know with the help of guys like Caleb Gibson and Jackie Knox and Nick O'Connell, those guys are they're coaching these guys in every sport, and they brought them all over to wrestling. And man, those kids have stuck to wrestling. Now there's a group running through the middle school now that's fixing to hit the high school, and it's just going to grow every year.
Well, what I tell people, I don't care what sport it is, if you want to have success at the high school level, you better have a good youth program. I mean, that's where it starts. You start teaching the kids the Guthrie way. You start teaching the kids the program.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we're
getting close.
We're getting close. I gotta have one conversation here, Phil, with this guy. Hold on just a sec.
Well, Sean's away doing that. We just want to again welcome everybody to Guthrie Wrestling, the Guthrie Blue and White Dual tonight. See a lot of young kids, and gives them an opportunity to get on the mat, get some mat experience in front of a crowd. That's a big deal. If you've never wrestled, it's a unique experience putting yourself out there in front of the world to watch. And this is a neat atmosphere. We talked a little bit about the crowd here tonight. It's a great crowd. It's really impressive how many folks are here tonight. It's doing fabulous stuff, and I think there's just all kinds of good things going on. I think what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back shortly after hearing from some of our sponsors.
F&M Bank loves giving back to the communities we live and serve in. Banking with us ensures your money goes back into your community. Our goal is to provide you with reliable banking you can trust, delivered with unique passion for service. F&M Bank has all the modern banking services: mobile banking, lending, reward checking, electronic checking, and more. We invite you to come see us at any of our 8 locations. Come see what relationship banking is all about. F&M Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. You're lost out there and you're all alone. A light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look.
All right, guys, we are back. Sorry for that quick departure. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're wearing a lot of hats tonight. You got a lot going on, and I tell you that, and that's something too that's unique to the sport of wrestling. It seems like there's always those few people that do everything, And I just want to say, I know it was that way when I was a kid and wrestled. It's been that way since the beginning of time. I don't care when it was done, but encourage people, if you want to get involved in wrestling, if you got a youngster that wants to participate, or no matter what their age or where they're at, get a hold of somebody with Guthrie Youth Wrestling. You can get a hold of Sean. You can get a hold of the junior high coaches, high school coaches, but everybody works in conjunction. I think that's one of the things I love about wrestling. It really is a family environment with all the different levels of wrestling that you'll see.
Absolutely. It starts with, the individual families, and then they kind of venture into that room and kind of start to, get their feet wet, and then pretty soon by the end of the season, they're wondering what they're going to do with their life because they're waiting for next year's wrestling season. They've kind of got a new family, a new community. And
well, I remember being a young man and starting wrestling. I remember my dad telling my mom one time, he goes, do we do anything besides this? Because you're up early, you're out early, you get home late, you reload, you go do it again, and it's a constant, but it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it. Yeah, and the family, like I say, they always say it takes a village to raise a kid, and the wrestling village is a very true thing. Up in the stands, the moms are taking care of the kids, and the little brothers are watching the big brothers and all the friends, and the tournament last weekend, there was a huge Guthrie crowd up in the stands yelling and screaming for the kids, and then all along the side of the mat, it was littered with blue little wrestling singlets, and they were supporting each other. It was a really cool environment.
Well, and that's when you can tell when a program's really starting to catch its stride, right? When you see the youngsters. I was watching some of the youngsters there earlier. Your boy Wesley was out wrestling with one of the little boys out on the mat, and but that's what it's about. Wrestling's such a unique sport. I mean, it's just truly unique for so many different reasons. But I've always said, if you want to figure out about life, go wrestle for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's, you hear all the horror stories of, of guys losing too much weight in hot rooms and hard work, but I'm telling you, if you want to build character in a young man or a young woman, Dan Gable said it best, if you can find success in wrestling, you can find success in anything else in life. So
exactly right. Well, tough times, tough challenges create tough people.
Yes, absolutely.
And so there's nothing wrong with that. We need a little more of that in the world.
For sure. I wrestled with a lot of guys all the way up through the college level, and when I see these guys out and about, every single one of those men is successful.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like there's a recipe.
Well, there is a recipe. You work hard. You understand overcoming challenges. You understand when things don't go your way, you got to suck it up and get back in there, buttercup, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's
absolutely.
no time to sit around and worry about it, but so many great things come out of wrestling. I'm just excited at the direction of wrestling as a whole. It's an exciting time in Blue Jay country.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's take a quick break here, and we will come back and do some intros for the next round.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
There's one big difference between Vance Auto Group and the other dealers: transparency. We show all the discounts and rebates on our website long before you arrive. See your monthly payment, your current vehicle's value, Carfax, and everything about the vehicle you're interested in buying. You can even buy any vehicle, new or pre-owned, without leaving home, right from our website. Buy with transparency at the John Vance Auto Group.
John Vance Auto Group.
Welcome back, everybody. Getting ready for tonight's action with the Guthrie Blue and White Dual. Going to get to see a lot of youngsters that you may not get to see throughout the years. Get these kids some exposure, some experience out on the mat, and turn on the bright lights and get the sounds going. And I think we're getting ready to get started here in just a few minutes. I think Sean is a man who wears many hats. He's going to be the lead caller of the matches tonight. I'll fill in where he needs me to, but he's also has other duties. He's doing PA. He's doing a lot of things tonight. So stand one by.
Put your hands together for your Guthrie Blue Jays.
Here we go. Come the young Jays running out on the mat. I love it all. Look at there. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff there. You can tell the numbers all these kids come out of. This is just such a small. I talked to Sean earlier this year, and you know we're well into the hundreds in the youth program participating, and you can see it tonight. A lot of the little ones out here tonight as well, and what a great experience for these kids to get to come out and do this. Bryson Hall's the coach tonight for the blue team. Wesley Silvis, of course, outstanding senior wrestler for the Blue Jays this year. Aiden Harden. You'll see kids close in weights. Some might be wrestling up, some might be down. This will be a good match right here. Again, have all different ages tonight participating. There you have it. That's the lineup for tonight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you will rise and join me in our high school band to play.
We have our national anthem. Love that song. Getting close to the first match of the night. First match, I believe, will be Aiden Harden and Levi Dennis. Ready for the action here. Again, I want to thank all of our great sponsors this year for jumping in and help us put all this on for Guthrie Wrestling. We appreciate each and every one of you. Encourage those watching. You see them around town. Thank them for being supporters of these Guthrie kiddos and everything that they do. First up, blue team, Aiden Harden. And Levi Dennis for the white team, first match. Boy, we got you double duty, buddy.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, Phil. All right, excited to see this matchup. I hear they wrestled in a match in the room just a couple of days ago, and they went into double overtime.
Oh, wow. Should be good. Aiden's long, very long kid.
Very, very kind of a clash of styles. You got long and lanky, lots of leverage. You got short and stocky. Yeah. Levi's hips are as strong as they look.
Yeah, they do look strong. You can see it right there, too.
Yeah, he throws those hips down, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Aiden has his arms. Man, he's long kid.
Yeah, Levi's been in our room since he was a little guy, came in from football, really just fell in love with the sport. And then Aiden started wrestling last year. His dad's a wrestler, been trying to get him to wrestle for years. They're takedown 2. Got him to start wrestling last year, and he just fell in love with it. Brought his sister along this year. She's going to wrestle tonight as well. So their family kind of jumped on board last year and just went all in.
I love to see this. I mean, this is first of all, I've known Aiden since he was born, and I hadn't seen him in a minute. Goodness gracious, he's gotten tall.
Yeah,
I mean, he is extremely tall.
He's nearly a head taller than his dad.
Yeah.
And he's, 8th grader.
Yeah, and that's a good point. 8th grader, and in Oklahoma, I mean, really wrestling anywhere, starting in the 7th grade like Aiden did last year, that's late.
Yeah,
you know, so you can tell though that he's taken to it.
Yeah, for sure. He's
a lot of composure out there.
Yeah, he's the first one in practice every day. He wrestles for the junior high, and then he comes down and wrestles our open practice for another 2 hours.
That's awesome.
An hour later. So even though he's new, he's put in a lot of time in that short period.
Now, Sean, when you look at a young kid that's really just getting started, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of mat time.
No.
But this is, I mean, he has extremely good composure for the amount of mat time he has.
It's funny. We were talking in practice last night that sometimes the kids that start a little bit later, they don't know anything except what you show them,
right.
And they don't come with a lot of bad habits. So they just, they're able to pick up on what they know. Levi did a nice job there, just keeping his position on bottom and kind of frustrating. Aiden got a little bit high, and he was able to just spin out.
Well, and that's that mat time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, for Aiden, more mat time he gets, he'll be more situationally aware of where he's at on the match.
For sure.
On the mat. But, man, this has been a good first period. 2-1. Aiden up right now. Aiden Harden up 2-1.
Yeah, and Levi's always been solid on bottom. He's stubborn, he's mean, and he don't want to go to his back.
Well, you can tell how strong he is too. And lower body strength is so important.
For sure. And that escape there at the end of the period was huge for him. Because now if he can get another escape here, he can tie this match up.
Tie it up 2-2. A lot of strategy involved in wrestling that people don't think about.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of strategy.
For sure. With points hard to come by, especially in a close match, 1 point matters a lot.
Matters a lot. And we talked a little bit about a few minutes ago about mat awareness. And what I mean by that is where are you at on the mat situationally to the score, to the time left on the clock, all these things that you just have to think about. Yeah. That's the stuff that you really don't know if you haven't followed wrestling.
Yeah, and for sure. And for these younger guys, they're going to focus more on moves.
Yeah.
And older kids don't have to think as much about that as they can strategy
it's
or
reactive.
where they're at on the mat, things like that. And so you'll see a difference when we've got some of our more experienced high school kids. Yeah. They'll be doing things a little bit different.
And with our youth kids, kind of continuing on that line of conversation, but you get a kiddo that starts, let's say, in the 2nd grade. By the time he hits high school, how many matches, if he's active, how many matches will he or she have?
Depending on the kid, I would say 30 matches a season is pretty average. Axel Gibson picked up another 25 during freestyle, so he got over 50 matches last year, and then you times that by maybe 5 seasons. You're getting several hundred matches before you get into junior high,
and that's when that things that come naturally. You don't have to think about things. You can think more about mat awareness and strategy and just situational wrestling. But wrestling is a sport that you got to do it to get good at it. I mean, you've got to get out on the mat and you've got to wrestle.
Yes.
And that's what I think. I think that's what one of the things that's great about the sport. I think that's also what intimidates some kids about the sport, right? Because you've got to kind of learn in front of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's no hiding out there.
No. And it's, it's difficult when you do come in, like in a junior high, and you're wrestling a kid. Let's say he's got 200 more matches than you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's going to win.
Yeah.
And you just have to accept that. But you can also learn from those matches and really catch them.
Big time. That's why I think it makes it such a great sport, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, overcoming adversity is just a life skill that
100%.
I don't know a wrestler that hasn't had to overcome adversity at many points in their career.
Many points.
Starting back down on bottom, Levi. Looks like Aiden stopped his Wilson move. He's getting high on this cradle. Now, he does like this cradle. I have not seen him score it a lot, but he wants that cradle.
Yeah, you could see it.
Eventually, that will be in his arsenal, for sure.
Those legs, too. I think he's going to learn how to use those legs a little more. The more experience he gets.
Yeah, at the leg riding clinic this past, probably a month ago, we had a leg riding clinic, and he was all ears.
Oh, yeah. We should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an advantage that he has.
He's all legs. He might as well be all
legs
ears
and arms. I mean, goodness gracious. But he learns how to ride with those legs and how to use that. That'll be a huge advantage for him as he continues to grow as a wrestler for the Blue Jays. Another little injury time out here. And that's something, too. Wrestling's a unique sport. I mean, injury timeouts, usually bloody noses, things like that. I know the first time that my wife went to a wrestling tournament with me, with our kids when they were real little, she didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
There's tape being wrapped around heads, cotton being jammed up noses, it's just
cotton or anything else they can find.
Anything else you can find to stop it. But it's such a unique sport. And I think that, again, look around, as we see the crowd here and just all the wrestlers sitting around. All these kids aren't wrestling tonight, but they're part of the sport. They're part of the program. It's so impressive just to see the numbers.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a great thing here, and really even just these matches like this, the blood times and stuff. When you go back to talking about strategies, it's we were coaching in a duel earlier this year, and one of the kids was exhausted, and they were using blood time as a reason to catch a break. So, he'd blow that thing out of his nose, and you get 5 minutes of blood time and only 2 minutes of injury time.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Strategy for sure. So I do not think that's what Levi's doing here.
No.
He gets frustrated when he can't go.
No, Levi's wanting to go. You can see it on his eyes.
Yes.
Now, is Levi an 8th grader as well?
Yes. Yeah. They're both
8th grade. Okay.
Well, I say that. I believe Levi is 7th grade. Levi is 7th grade. He's 8th grade. Okay.
Levi is 8th grade.
Levi's 7th grade, and Aiden is 8th grade. So.
Levi's 7th?
Levi's 7th grade, yeah.
Okay. And Aiden's 8th. Okay. Very good. Well, and Sean, talk a little bit more, too, about, as we got a few minutes here. Of course, the second we'll start this, they'll be ready to go. But what if somebody does want to get involved with the youth program, what do they need to do?
They need to contact a coach.
Okay.
It's all, if they're a younger kid, our Facebook page is a good spot to start. Yeah, our Facebook page is where they can reach out to my wife, Lindsay. And
what's the name of that page?
It's Team Guthrie Wrestling.
Okay.
Team Guthrie Wrestling. The high school Facebook page is Guthrie Wrestling.
Yep.
But we're Team Guthrie Wrestling. But they can reach out to her. They can come watch a practice. We can get them involved. And, for a junior high or high school kid, Coach Pierce is at the high school, but he's the junior high coach, and Coach Caleb. Reach out to somebody in wrestling. If they know somebody, a family, normally one of the family members will just bring them and say, hey, I got a kid that wants to wrestle.
Get out there.
It is a very inviting sport. Everybody wants everybody to be a part of it. So.
Well, and I think as we continue to watch the Harden versus Dennis match here, 7th grader versus 8th grader, I think, too, with growth in the program, we've got a lot of interest, comes needs, right? And we've got to think about things like more buildings to put these kids in. I mean, we got a lot of young ladies that are wrestling. It's becoming more and more popular for the young ladies. Eventually we're going to have more staff. We're going to have to more better facilities where the young ladies have their own showers, their own restroom, there's things that they need. That's all the kind of stuff we need the community to get involved and to really, if you're looking for a good organization that supports youth, this is a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. This program, at least the Team Guthrie program, was started as a ministry to just love on kids, build families, that kind of thing. And with the growth we've had, we'll see here at halftime after the 7th match, we're going to get all the wrestlers out here with the coaches and take a picture, and you'll really get an understanding of why we need facilities, because the high school wrestling room is not much bigger than this mat that we're wrestling on here.
That's exactly right.
And you will see how crowded that room gets just in practice, and you think these guys are basically out here fighting. And they're fighting over, in a lack of space. And so it's, we're doing what we can with coaches and with help to try to have several practices and all that. But with guys got day jobs and work in, and there's only so much time to get all these guys in, and really just trying to provide opportunities. We've got several kids that are from lesser means, and so we've got sponsors that are sponsoring these kids to try to get them out of a bad environment and put them into a good environment, and that's really what we're doing. We're just trying to give kids an opportunity to find the love of a sport, to be around good male role models. We've got
100%.
every one of our coaches is vetted, background checked, all that, and so it's just trying to create a positive environment where these kids can get in here and actually enjoy working hard. That's kind of our goal.
Proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
You guys are getting her done, and we appreciate that very much. I think this match going into the 3rd period. Harden up 3-1.
Yeah, with that escape, he's up. Now Levi's going to have to put some pressure on here in this 3rd period and get him a takedown. So takedowns were 2. The escapes were worth 1. So both got an escape, but Aiden got that takedown. That's what's putting him ahead here. Levi's going for it.
Oh, there you go. Well, you can just see the rawness in Harden. I mean, he's a kid he's got a future in this sport. I mean, this is a kid that is going to continue to grow, continue to get better. We talked about that mat time. As he gets more mat time, that'll just make him more and more confident, more comfortable. But boy, he looks like a seasoned wrestler out there right now. I mean, it's very impressive.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
watch him, and Levi's doing a great job. You can tell Levi's a grinder.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Levi is growing into his size. If you have seen his dad, Levi's not going to be anything short of 200, 250 pounds when he's finally filled out. And once he grows into that, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. His first year he wrestled, he won state.
I mean, he battles. Just getting back up, getting his hips up there. Again, if you've never, you don't realize the strength that takes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's they can get
nice half attempt there.
Yeah, he likes to get outside.
Aiden's really grinding for that.
He's not afraid to work that head, is he?
No, and in a friendly match, he's starting to get a little bit physical.
Yeah, I like it. Of course, these kids wrestle each other every day. Great match.
For sure. All right, with the conclusion of that match, we're going to hear from our sponsors, and we will be back in just a minute.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
There's one big difference between Vance Auto Group and the other dealers: transparency. We show all the discounts and rebates on our website long before you arrive. See your monthly payment, your current vehicle's value, Carfax, and everything about the vehicle you're interested in buying. You can even buy any vehicle, new or pre-owned, without leaving home, right from our website. Buy with transparency at the John Vance Auto Group.
John Vance Auto Group.
Welcome back to the Guthrie Wrestling Blue and White Duel. Just completed our first match. Aiden Harden and Levi Dennis. Harden getting the best of Levi tonight, 3-1. Good match. Matthew Gyrus taking on Luke Lyons. Luke, a outstanding young grappler for the Blue Jays as well. Again, this is great, just great exposure for the kids, just to get them some mat time in front of people, and just a whole lot of good things. Sean, talk to me about these two young men.
All right, well, so Matthew Gyrus, who's in the blue here, Matthew came to us from jiu-jitsu. He's been doing jiu-jitsu since he's a kid. I believe his jiu-jitsu coach said, man, if you learn how to wrestle, it's only going to help. He came out and fell in love with the sport, so he's been at it 2, maybe 3 years. Maybe he started in junior high. I believe he's a sophomore now, and has really taken to it. He's got an interesting style because of that jiu-jitsu background. so he's a little bit awkward to wrestle with, but he's turning it into wrestling, and that's been fun to watch.
Well, you can tell that he's spent time in combat sports.
Yeah, for sure.
You can just tell the way he approaches it.
Yeah, and he's very comfortable in very bad situations because that is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so everything's a bad situation.
Yeah. Now Luke Lyons in the white. Luke's been wrestling since he was just 5, probably.
Yeah.
He's always been the hardest worker in the room. Tough kid. Wrestled varsity last year as a freshman. Really took his lumps against. I think last year he wrestled 7 returning placers and 4 state champions.
That's a load.
So his record was not what you would think from a stud, but he was wrestling the best kid. It seemed like every duel we went to, 3A state champ, 4A state champ, 6A state champ. Every time he wrestled, it seemed like he was up against one of the best.
Got caught there.
Yeah, he got a little clever there.
Yeah, got a little too clever.
But
he scrambled though.
Yeah, as this summer went on in freestyle, he really came on strong. He's wrestling he's wrestling very good in the room. He's going to have a very successful season.
Well, there's no doubt. And I mean, I tell you, this is a great example of if you are involved in jiu-jitsu or some of these other combat sports, you can translate that to wrestling very easily.
Absolutely, and wrestling transitions really well back to jiu-jitsu, just really from the takedown and the top control side.
Right.
I dabbled in jiu-jitsu for about 10 years, and that was 2 things I never really struggled with, was getting a guy to the ground and staying in top control.
Right.
Now, learning how to wrestle off your back's a different thing for a wrestler.
Whole different animal.
Yeah,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly. But, man, Matthew Gyrus is in on a deep shot here.
He is. Working that ankle.
And Luke's doing a good job hanging on. That goes back to that savvy a little bit. He knew where he was at in the period and was able to hang on, but, man, Matthew came right after him.
Yeah. He's now what grade? Are these both juniors?
I believe Luke is a junior and Matthew is a sophomore. Don't quote me on that, but I think I'm right.
Okay. We'll work for our next broadcast to get the classifications for the kids. I mean, this is our run through. Just like this is a scrimmage for the kids, this is our scrimmage as well on the broadcast team, and we're excited to be bringing this to you all year long here on GNP TV.
And in my defense, Phil, we got 112 little wrestlers, so after about 10 years, they start to blur together.
They all run together. I get it, brother.
Remember most of their names, but their grades are getting hard for me.
Yeah, I get it.
Nice little high crotch attempt here. I guess fireman's carry.
Yep.
Matthew doing a good. See these little scrambles and these difficult positions. Most guys would give that up, but Matthew's. He seems comfortable here, Well,
he's still working for something offensively too. He's got himself in a little bit of a situation here. A little bit of that Matt experience showing there for Luke. Yeah,
one thing Luke has done here recently is he's really, instead of thinking about one move, he's thinking ahead. One thing is moving. He's transitioning his wrestling very nicely.
Well, and that's the thing. The more experience you get, and I'm going to say this all year long, mat time translates to understanding how to transition wrestle. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's not just throwing a move.
Yeah.
Throwing this move to throw the next 2.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And it's a lot of that's feeling, you're going to zig knowing he's going to zag.
That's right.
And you're going to attack the zag even though you're throwing a zig.
And the real elite guys, when you go down to the big house at the end of the year and you watch the kids competing to get on the podium and ultimately win those state championships, you see the elite of the elite. You can see them. I mean, they stand out.
This situation here for Matthew, this is an opportunity where he scores and he's in the match.
Yeah.
And this is where, that experience is going to come in. Luke's going to be happy here to get a stalemate, and Matthew is kind of in the same position. He's got himself in a spot where he's looking for a stalemate and he's got to walk away. Yeah. But as he gets better, he's going to finish that takedown.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the difference in a close match like this where he could really get ahead. And that's where Luke was maybe a couple of years ago.
So is this match, did you expect it? Oh, got a quick late takedown there. Again, showing that experience.
Absolutely.
Kind of stole 2 from him there. But did you expect this match to be this close?
I didn't, if I'm being honest with you. But I do know that Matthew has always been tricky. He wrestled at regionals last year and gave some good kids a lot of problems. Okay. But even like that was an Imanari roll in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And he does it to try to get a double leg. And, that's nothing Luke's ever seen before. We didn't show that in a wrestling room growing up, So it's a nice little twist. He's putting legs in. He's getting really high.
Yeah, too high.
In jiu-jitsu, that's where you get for the choke. So he's comfortable here. He's got to learn in wrestling. He's got to stay back a little bit. So he's making adjustments. And
balance is a big thing in both sports, jiu-jitsu or wrestling. But I think even, you talked about you had to learn how to wrestle from your back, right, in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's 2 very different sports. Similarities, but very different. And so, but again, and he worked himself into a problem right here.
Yeah. But really, when you're down 3 points, not having a lot of success on your feet, really that's the time to get up there, and you kind of got to make it happen. And he got up there trying to make it happen. Yeah, he got caught on his back, but
looking battle though, back to his base.
Like I said, on his back.
No, he's comfortable there.
He's able to weasel his way out. So.
But that's a great example. It was 2-2, and you look up, it's 9-2. That's how quick this can turn.
Sure.
You turn somebody on their back, you get a quick takedown. He stole a takedown at the end of that last period, and now gets 3 back. I mean, and that's how you find yourself up 7 with 47 seconds left.
Yeah. And it's like, say, Matthews, he's done a great job, making this match competitive for sure.
Very much so. No, it's felt much closer than.
Yeah. No, Luke's grinding here on top. This is another thing that, a lot of people don't see. The bottom position is the hardest position in wrestling, hands down.
Yeah.
It's sort of a travesty. You only get 1 point for getting out of the hardest position.
You would think it would be opposite. Yeah, that's right.
But, you got to work really hard to get out here, and it looks boring, and it seems very nice roll, just a nice little Granby roll there to get out. Again, he's not afraid to roll over his back, Nice single leg here on the edge.
I'd like to see him finish that.
Yeah.
But you talked about hitting that Granby roll. I mean, again, you can see it in Matthew. He's a kid that's going to be very comfortable as he continues to get mat time, and he'll win a lot of matches for the Blue Jays over the next couple of years, no doubt.
No doubt. We're finishing up this match here. We're going to run to a commercial break, and we will be back with our next matchup.
For centuries, it was a windswept prairie until the run of '89 saw settlers scramble for land and life in a newborn town as Oklahoma's territorial capital, Guthrie. Bank First is loyal to the preservation movement that reclaimed Oklahoma's first state capital. And we're loyal to the banking legacy born at the corner of First and Oklahoma streets. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Welcome back to the Guthrie Blue Jay Blue and White Duel. I'm Phil Nichols, Sean Silvis, doing multi-duties right now, getting it all going on over here.
Next for your blue team, it's Kellen O'Connell. And for your white team, Zaden Clayton.
Got 2 of the young ones getting ready to go here. Love to see this. Sean's going to have a lot of information on these 2, I have a feeling. Get them ready to go. Sean, tell us about young Kellen and Zaden.
All right, so Kellen has been with us for a couple of years now. Placed in state last year for junior. Now, what you got to understand, what's exciting, the reason we put this matchup together, Zaden's been wrestling for 3 weeks.
Wow.
He showed up 3 weeks ago from football. He's aggressive, and he's got a mean double leg. He's been blowing everybody up. There's a weight discrepancy and an experience discrepancy, but we had to find someone Zaden could wrestle, so we had to grab one of our better wrestlers to get out there and compete. So Kellen's given up some weight, and Zaden's given up some experience. But as this match unfolds, you're probably going to see a lot of points. I watched these guys. They were wrestling last night in practice, and it was back, and it was forth.
This is awesome. I love it. 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. And this is the future of our program, Phil. I cannot be more excited with this group of kids we have in the room right now. They're listening. They're working hard. Kellen this year really has turned a corner.
Wow.
The last few years, he's been young, and there's times he's kind of lost out there. And this year, he's really starting to learn how to use his hips, like you see here.
There you go.
He's always been difficult to deal with, but never really knew how to score. And this year, he's starting to figure out how to score while being difficult to deal with.
And he's working that half. Boy, he's trying awful hard. Look there.
Yeah, you'll see from our kids program, we don't do a lot, but we will do it well.
Well, and that's what, my old wrestling coach, Coach Lazarus, shout out, brother. He used to always say, if you're the best at a takedown, the best at a move from bottom, you know, you're going to win a lot of matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And I mean, you don't have to know everything there is to know. But what you do know, you've got to be proficient at it. You got to really drill those down. But
man, back to another reversal, a takedown and 2 reversals. And here we go. This 2-minute match is longer than what they're – so they're going to go a 2-minute first period, a 1-minute second, and a 1-minute third. Back to another reversal.
They're back and forth there. Oh, and another quick reversal there. Scorekeepers earning their pay tonight.
This is what I watched in practice last night. These guys –
this is awesome.
Just back and forth, yes. I'm encouraged to see them holding their position on bottom and allowing themselves the opportunity to get back on top.
And neither wrestler's panicking out there. They're thinking, they're listening, they're doing the things that you want a young wrestler doing, trying to put moves together.
Absolutely. One thing, Phil, I'm really liking is these high school boys. They're out here just cheering these kids on,
Coaching them up.
Yeah, Wesley's been down to the room quite a bit, so he's done private lessons and with some of these kids, and he's familiar with them. Bryson's been down a bunch. They wrestled freestyle together, did the camps together, so they're not strangers, and these little guys look up to these big guys who are in their corner.
Well, of course, Bryson and Wesley, both guys that we expect have a real opportunity to be on top of that podium this year at the state tournament. And outstanding wrestlers. And of course, that Wesley pretty good. So
I'm fond of them, but really fond of both of these kids. I've watched them two grow up together in this sport. I'm more excited. Wesley was always a lot bigger than Bryson, and they never really got to be partners. And once they got to high school last year, they were close enough weights, and that's really when both of them have kind of took off. They've got each other now to feed off of, and both of them are iron, and they just get sharper every time they come in. Wesley we do private lessons in the morning, and he'll come in and say, Bryson was doing this and Bryson was doing that, so we'll fix it. And then he'll go back and have success, and then Bryson will go home and say, Wesley was doing this and Wesley was so then they'll fix it. And it's competitive, but in a good way. They love each other. They love each other enough to go hard.
Yeah,
and
that's what makes you get better in the room.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you've got to have somebody in the room that can push you.
And you see just with these little guys, they have that.
Oh, no doubt. These little guys are battling right now.
4-6.
Now
going into the third.
Tell us again, Clymer is in the all blue?
Yeah, so Clymer is the one on bottom right now.
Okay.
He's in the white and blue.
And then Kellen's
going to be in the blue on top.
Okay. And young Clymer's got how many weeks?
This is third week.
He's got a natural instinct for this, brother.
He'd been to 2 or 3 tournaments already, and his dad came to me after week 2 and said he's after the first week saying, well, he wants to go wrestle a tournament. I said, okay, yeah.
Get him out there.
Is he going to be okay? I said, he's going to be just fine.
But you can tell. I mean, you want all kids out there participating in sports like this, but he's got an aptitude for it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some kids that just have a more, and not taking anything away from O'Connell at all.
No, he's
outstanding young wrestler himself.
Yeah,
but 3 weeks, that's impressive.
It's very impressive. Kellen's doing a nice job of returning him. He's good at, he's strong, and he will return and do a double leg as well. He drops down a lot. But Zaden, he knows to stand up on bottom. And that's what he's doing.
And what I like about Zaden, just like there, he knows. I mean, he's thinking. He's not just out there reacting. He's thinking.
Yes, for sure. Kellen's doing a nice job holding him down, and Zaden is not making this easy on him at all.
Boy, they're battling.
Yes.
Trying to hold that, trying to keep that. Oh, there we go.
What a match.
What a match.
What a match. On that note, guys, let's take a break, and we'll come back shortly.
Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Welcome back to the Guthrie Blue and White Dual. Ready for our fourth matchup of the evening. Connor Martin taking on Sam Marillan. It's another one of those. Sean, another one of these. Tell me about these kids. You know much about either one of these kids?
Both of these guys are new to me, Phil. They showed up at junior high this year. Like say that with the sport growing like it is, football kids are starting to trickle into the wrestling room. The word's starting to spread around town. Both these guys, the coaches came and did just a show and tell for wrestling at the junior high this year, trying to pick up more kids. Caleb Gibson, I can't say enough things about that guy. He knows how to get kids on a wrestling mat. He showed up to the school. I don't know what their pitch was, but it sold. They had 70 kids in that meeting. I think they've got 50 kids now on the mat wrestling. These are two of those beginners that started this year and are part of the junior high program.
Yeah, and I tell you, again, this is something you can – what I'm impressed with, you get a lot of these kids are starting later, that 7th, 8th grade. But as they're out here on the mat, fundamentally, they're strong.
Yeah.
That's a testimony to our junior high coaches and the good work they're doing in the room at the junior high.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Jay Howard last year, retired. He's been here for a long time, did a great job with our program. But now we've got a new team in there, and Coach Davenport's really been very hands-on, really kind of focusing on what we need. And having Caleb Gibson in there now, he's been a part of our kids program, and now those kids that are coming up, they get to keep the same coach, and then
that continuity.
Absolutely. And then Coach Pierce, Coach Pierce was a stud back in his day. He knows wrestling, but I'm telling you what, if there's not a better motivator as a wrestling coach, I've been so impressed with how he's able to get these kids to buy into what he's teaching. They come to him upset and they leave smiling. They come to him and need a hug, he'll give them one.
Great coach.
And when they need motivated, he's not afraid to get on them. But I can tell by the way they respond to him how much they absolutely respect that guy. Sky is the limit with this program, and this is going to feed our high school, in the future. That's going to be great.
Yeah, Martin on top right now, top position into the first period. Martin up 2-0. These two young kids just getting mat time themselves, really young in the sport. Good-looking kids.
He had a nice takedown. Good job on top. He stayed behind the hips and rode.
Yeah. Of course, it looks like that you talk about, Marillan kid on top. Looks like, again, we talked about that lower body, that base. He looks strong.
Yeah, for sure. These guys, the word on the street is they do not get along well. But they practice well. And so the coaches keep putting them together because they won't quit going.
That's my Danny Cole. That was my teammate, Danny Cole. Yeah. We're good friends now. We're closer to 60 than we are 50, but growing up, we had a love-hate thing. We would beat the daylights out of each other and then hang out begrudgingly on the weekends and might get a couple scraps in the weekend with each other, and then we go back to school and do it all over again. It was that way from kindergarten till we graduated from high school.
Well, I think, normally you would think, okay, these kids are fussing, separate them. But the beauty of this sport is as they battle against each other, they're going to get respect for each other.
Right.
And that's going to turn into liking each other. That's how that works.
That's how it works. I mean, literally, because I'm serious, Dan and I, we were rivals.
Yeah.
One of my best friends to this day, but we spent the first 10 years of our life just trying to knock each other's head off.
So, but they're, like I say, on bottom, it seems like Connor Martin seeming to get the best of him. He's getting out, getting moving, and Sam's getting stuck on bottom here. Really needs to just be working on getting the base.
Well, and that's
he's staying solid, trying not to go to his back. But we need him to start coming up, to start threatening down there.
And that's lack of experience.
For sure, sure. That's really the difference in the two, you know. Connor was coming up. He was coming up, and it was too much for Sam to hold on to. Now that he's up, but he's back down. So and that is the battle. And that's also wrestling, being in wrestling shape, too. He's in a bad situation here. 15 seconds left. There you go. Get back to his belly. Yeah, and that wrestling shape, Phil, if you've never done it, you're not going to get it. It's a different thing. Yeah. No, I tell everyone that, they say, oh, he's been in cross country. He should be in shape. He's been in football. He's been in shape. Yeah. And those types of shape are supplemental to wrestling.
They
so
are.
if you're wrestling and running, the running helps. If you're wrestling and playing football, maybe the strength helps. But those are supplement. You're not going to get better shape in wrestling without wrestling.
Well, and I don't know a sport that requires more mental tough-ness than wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're gassed, your tank's empty, you're in front of everybody that knows you, you're getting your tail kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have true intestinal fortitude to battle back in a situation like that.
I had a junior high coach that said you're going to be fighting another man wearing your underwear in front of your mother.
Yeah. How's that sound?
So if you're willing to go out there and do that,
Yeah.
you're going to have a lot of confidence when you walk into life.
Right.
So,
Right.
like I say, that mental toughness kind of shapes itself. And really, these guys are out here. They're not thinking about any of that.
No.
They're just competing.
Competing.
They're trying to do what they can. Again, on bottom, he's doing he's doing a great job of holding his base on his knees and just staying in a good position. And Sam will get too high. Sam's trying to score.
Right.
He gets a little too high, and he's kind of reversing that role. He's doing a good job.
Get that half in. Not too deep yet. He's trying to sink it in. He'll walk that around, Sean. There he goes.
Looks like he's got Sam wore out. He might get this. No, he's rolling back through.
I like it.
Good for him.
And that tells you a lot about the kind of competitor a young man is, because we call it looking for a back door.
Yes,
get out of here.
He had every chance to finish that match right there.
100%. He could have said, you know what, it's been a good run.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and take it off there.
But he fought off his back. That says a lot about his character.
It does. It does.
Like I say, struggling on bottom, but that's going to come. Again, the hardest position there is, he's been wrestling 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. And I think one thing's too cool, because you can look at programs. What's kind of the identity? What is Guthrie becoming known for as far as the style of a wrestling team? Is there, because the great teams have that. They become known for something.
Definitely a pressure on our feet at the high school level. We're grinding up, a lot of underhooks, a lot of hand fighting, a lot of physicality. We'll talk more about it when we come back.
At Cary Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans. Seth Robbins, Jason Herzl, and Dennis Oakes aren't limited to any single provider. We'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Cary Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Cary Insure Group at 405-293-4880 or stop by at 622 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Cary Insure Group, insuring your world.
Tina and Stefan and the entire staff, they are who you see them be. I mean, they're genuine people. They care about people. They've spent their entire lives in healthcare.
I can honestly say I'm 65 years old, and I'm probably in the best health I've been in my whole life, to be honest with you. And it's thanks to Stefan and his staff here, because everything they've done for me is just worked tremendously.
I just highly recommend Strive to anybody who's wanting to see a real improvement in their overall health, to be quite frank, their quality of life. Welcome back to the Blue Jay Blue and White Wrestling Duel. Getting ready to have our 5th contest of the evening.
For the blue team, it's Hattie, Rowan.
Oh, we got some big ones here.
And for your white team, Paisley, Tucker.
Well, I'm going to let Sean get strapped back up here, but I'm going to tell you something. If there's anything any cuter than this, I'd like to know what it is.
Phil,
my goodness.
One of the greatest.
Look at those smiles.
One of the greatest sports in the country right now, and it is the fastest growing sport, is girls wrestling. Yeah. And we've seen a big uptick here in Guthrie. It's one of those things, most of the time you think girls wrestling with boys. A lot of times parents don't like that, but they now have all girls divisions.
Yeah.
So these girls are competing against other little girls, and I'm telling you, girls at this age listen better than boys.
Well, at any age.
And they work harder than boys.
At any age, let's just qualify.
I wasn't sure how that would translate into the wrestling room, but really these girls have really impressed me, not just the little girls, but even all the way up to the high school level. They're working hard. They're putting in the time. They're seeing progress. A lot of these girls are gaining confidence. They walk into the room at the beginning of the year with their head down. They're shy, and they'll walk out of the room with confidence, talking to everyone. It's such a character builder. It's been amazing to watch.
Well, and I was talking to Coach Davenport when we were setting up tonight, and we were talking about about women's wrestling. I said, I know a lot of people, the old-time wrestlers, don't like that. Well, you need to get over it because it's here.
It's here.
It's here, and you know what? We've had some great success over the last few years.
Absolutely.
Locally, we had two-time state champion.
Absolutely.
Come out of it, and there's just it's a great sport. I don't care if you're a young boy or a young lady. It's a great sport. These two young ladies having a great time out there, still learning, doing the
two hands on the
press.
So these two had wrestled in a tournament. Both of the girls made it all the way to the medal rounds.
That's awesome.
Competing for Guthrie, and they made it to the medal rounds, and they took second and third place. Little Hattie won the last one, and Paisley came up a point shy.
That's awesome.
But it should be a competitive little battle here.
Yeah, they're getting after it. And again, he's trying to run that half. I'd like to see that. Listening to her coach. This is what it's all about right here.
Absolutely. Running that half.
Got to walk it.
Hattie's doing a good job rolling back out.
Yeah. Now she'll learn with time.
And Paisley's just back on that half. Like they feel that they don't know much yet, but what they know they're doing. And I like to see that.
Well, and I'm going to tell you something I like, and watch Wesley in the background here. I love that. I love that we have the high school boys coaching these kids. It's a great thing. You talk about how much they look up to the high school kids. This is stuff wild. These, heck, I'm 57. I still look up to guys that were 8, 9 years older than me now.
For sure.
Through the eyes of a 10-year-old.
Yep. Boy, Paisley did a nice job getting to her feet right here. Hattie's doing a nice job tackling her. Technically, she's got her hands locked, but I don't think that referee's going to call
I don't think we're going to blow that tonight.
Doing a good job climbing up. Man, they're battling,
Yeah,
Phil.
they are. They're battling. The Energizer Bunny. Look at her go.
We work stand-ups a lot, if you can't tell.
It's the escape. I can't get over the degree of cuteness that's going on right now.
They got their hair braided up for the night, and they are competing.
I love it.
Now, you talked about the success we've had with girls. Kalia Kirk, really
state champion.
She just came on the scene when it started and really shined the light on girls wrestling here in this town. And she's been such a blessing to have. When she does come in and work with the high school girls, all these girls look up to her. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice that she was here. It was like at the right time. She really shined that light on because of her. There's been a lot of girls say, "Man, I think I can do that. I want to do that."
Well, and I'll tell you too. And we talked about facilities. We talked about things that are needed. I'm just going to say it. I'm just an outsider that loves wrestling, but as we are able to grow our facilities, we're able to do those things. We'll have more and more young ladies that'll want to get involved.
Absolutely.
It's we are dealing with such limited space right now.
Yes.
We've got to address that as a community. You see it here. It's like Paisley's.
She's wanting that half to work.
She's just. There you go.
She got that one. Now, what a great match by these girls.
Great match. They both competed great.
The story in this match was that half of Paisley.
Yeah, it was.
She really got on that and didn't stop.
Well, those are both 10s in cuteness.
They definitely get that.
I love it. Here we go. See the final replay of the fall in the match here. She says, look again. I think I got it. Yep, there it is. We're going to step away, take a break from our great sponsors.
When garage door problems occur, don't call a kind of service company or maybe a repair guy. Call Paul Creed at A-Team Overhead Door. Paul owns and operates his company and has over 15 years of experience in residential and commercial overhead door service. Paul provides all garage door services from repairs to installations. With free estimates, Paul will work with you to decide the best possible solution for your garage door or opener problems. Call A-Team Overhead Door today, 405-642-7065. At South Point Baptist Church, we want you to cheer loud and be proud as we send the Blue Jays to victory. Afterwards, join us each Sunday in our friendly family atmosphere. South Point invites you, your family, and friends to join us each week with Sunday school beginning at 10 a.m. and our morning service at 11 a.m. South Point wishes all students this season to make fun and exciting memories not only on the playing field, but in the classroom as well. And as always, go Blue Jays.
Welcome back. The Guthrie Blue and White Wrestling Duel. We start our 6th match of the evening. Tyler Gettings. taking on Wyatt Silvis. Of course, Tyler, an outstanding wrestler for the Blue Jay football player for the Blue Jay football program this year. Had a great season. Now, both these kids, one of them better than the other.
know both these kids pretty well, but obviously the one in white lives in my house, so I'm a little partial too.
Yeah.
Tyler's just coming in, with just a week. This is his first week back from football.
Yeah.
Coach is trying to get him some good mat time. Tyler was he was nearly a qualifier last year.
Unbelievable.
Just so close. I would really expect him to be on the podium this year.
That's
just a solid wrestler,
very athletic,
killer athlete, and really with his length and his style, he's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
We were talking about Matthew Gyrus earlier. Tyler's a little bit that way. He's comfortable in uncomfortable positions, which makes him hard to deal with.
He's got some dog in him.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And that's something I think that, you can tell kids that just battle. Now, talk to me about Wyatt. What grade's Wyatt in?
So Wyatt is a 14-year-old freshman. He's about 2 months shy of 14.
And he's
super
wrestling
young.
a 18-year-old senior?
Almost 19. Yeah, there's
that works out well.
Age discrepancy. Yeah. Wyatt, he wrestled when he was younger.
Yeah.
Didn't have a ton of fun. Set out for several years. Last year, watched his older brother wrestling out here. Wesley finally was on varsity and competing. And he looked at me and he said, "Dad, you think I could wrestle next year?" I said, "Yeah, bud."
There's a Silvis. He has to.
Yeah, we got a pair of shoes for you. So he started back up in freestyle, and really, as a kid, he didn't learn much, didn't know much, and then came back kind of as a beginner in freestyle, and just somehow fell in love with the sport.
That's great.
And battled all through freestyle. He's getting a lot better now this year. He's been in the room every time the doors open. Puts in a lot of extra time with his brother. So it's nice to see the two boys working. But
he'll appreciate those beatings he's getting more when he's older.
For sure,
He don't appreciate them as much when they're happening.
No. And we'll see Wyatt compete a lot more with the junior high kids. And he'll do great for them. He's been he took second in the tournament. He wrestled at junior high tournament a couple weeks ago.
That's great.
So at the level he's at, he's really coming on. He's aggressive. Wyatt's unbelievably strong in his hips.
You can tell.
Yeah, his upper body hadn't caught that yet. You know, Tyler's a lot more proportional, and Wyatt's a little bottom heavy. But when that fills out, he'll probably look a lot like his brother.
Wyatt's 14. There's a lot of things there. So, of course, Tyler, we did talk about. He's an outstanding athlete, and you can see it there. He's got a great base on him. The long kid again.
For sure.
Looks to be. Is his strong? Is he strongest on top?
Tyler's better on his feet probably than
anywhere.
Okay. And really,
that athleticism come out.
Offensive takedowns he'll get, but his defensive takedowns end in 5 a lot.
Okay.
So you'll see him even in a match. Maybe he's behind, a kid will shoot in. Next thing you know, Tyler's up by 3.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So he's just like he. Not only a dog, but he's not worried in bad situations.
Right.
He's comfortable. He's got good balance. He's got he's a good kid. He's a solid wrestler, and he's only getting better.
You can see it here. Starter on an outstanding Blue Jay football team. I'm not going to say he's gassed, but he's breathing hard.
He's wore out.
Because there's a difference.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a difference.
Absolutely.
Wrestling shape is different than football shape.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
And Tyler's going to be, it'll be after Christmas before he feels like he can wrestle.
That's right.
A whole match without having to pull back.
Well, he'll have his wrestling legs, his wrestling lungs. And they are different. They're completely different.
For sure.
Because a lot of people look at this and go, 2 minutes. How hard can it be to go? I don't want to hop out there and go, Skippy. See how hard it is.
Yeah, give it about 30 seconds and see.
That's right.
Yeah. No, Wyatt down here, he's doing a good job posturing. We teach this to the young kids. If nothing else, if they posture away from the action, it's hard for the top guy's got to adjust, and as he adjusts, if you posture the other way, now he's not able to get the moves he wants to get. He's trying to do moves on top. Wyatt, in what little he does know, he does it very well.
Yeah.
And he's very disciplined. Wyatt's really intelligent. He's really smart. So he knows what he's supposed to be doing in these situations. So even when things go bad, he knows where to get back to. So he's hard to do things to.
So he's going to be more at this level. He's more of a technical wrestle.
Absolutely.
Right now.
I think he'll always be a technical wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a kid that learned how to read music in a weekend. So
I hate people like that.
Yeah, so intelligence is definitely his strong suit.
Yeah.
So, a funny story, when he was little, we were running around the wrestling room, and we were doing conditioning, and he said, "Dad, why are we running? There's no running in wrestling." And it was a hard question to answer.
You're going to explain this to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to motivate him, and he's outsmarting me. So that's where he's at.
Well, we find Wyatt here on top, going into the third period.
Really, really a good match. As Tyler's fading, Wyatt's not going to. He's been wrestling all summer. I would watch for Wyatt to hit a high crotch. He's got a very, very nice high C on his left side.
Okay.
And Tyler leads his right leg. So if Tyler gets tired enough and Wyatt senses that, he'll hit that high crotch and he might get it. We might get to see a scramble because Tyler's not just going to fall over.
Oh, no.
So
no.
that might be a fun little way to end it. But Tyler's going to have to get off bottom here. Wyatt's riding tough. You see Wesley over there, his older brother.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to encourage him. Really, when you're talking, senior, 3-year starter senior versus a first-year freshman, not doing too bad.
No,
fairly
not at
competitive.
All. Doing well. See here, Tyler getting the reversal. We'll go up 6-0 in the match. Again, Tyler senior. Wyatt just a 14-year-old freshman, doing a great job competing out there. That's what this blue and white duel is all about, giving kids mat time and giving them an opportunity to wrestle under the lights, in front of the crowd, get out of the room a little bit. A little different environment. Just helps these kids develop their confidence and their comfort being out on the mat in duel situations.
Feel I had to step away there for a second, do some of my other duties, but what'd I miss?
Well, Tyler got a reversal, and that's about it up to this point. But I tell you, you can just tell. Man, I tell you.
I see those heavy hips twisted over, and it's a chore going to be to get those back.
But he's not. I mean, there's no give up in him. You can see that. And he's not panicking either. And that's something. A lot of people that have never wrestled, the first time somebody's arm gets around their throat or near their throat, they panic.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a lot of little nuanced things people just don't think about in wrestling. That's a real deal.
Yeah, and you think you'll know how you'll react until you get there.
Yeah, you don't.
I know Wyatt was excited when the week started. He's been wrestling. A lot of younger kids have been in the room, but Tyler obviously is his size. Some of these older kids are coming back from football, and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, all the seniors are coming back." Yeah. He was excited to get to, he's trying to elevate his game.
Well, and these are the kind of matches that'll help him do that.
This is exactly what this will do. Real proud of him, just as dad out here, competing against. Tyler's not just going to be a qualifier this year. I would expect him to get a medal. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
At Cary Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans. Seth Robbins, Jason Herzl, and Dennis Oakes aren't limited to any single provider. We'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Cary Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Cary Insure Group at 405-293-4880 or stop by at 622 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Cary Insure Group, insuring your world.
Tina and Stefan and the entire staff, they are who you see them be. I mean, they're genuine people. They care about people. They've spent their entire lives in healthcare.
I can honestly say I'm 65 years old, and I'm probably in the best health I've been in my whole life, to be honest with you. And it's thanks to Stefan and his staff here, because everything they've done for me is just worked tremendously.
I just highly recommend Strive to anybody who's wanting to see a real improvement in their overall health, to be quite frank, their quality of life. Welcome back to the Blue Jay Blue and White Wrestling Duel. I'm Phil Nichols. Sean Silvis, the man with the golden voice. Got multiple duties tonight. Joined by our great production team. Of course, Chris Evans making it all go. Ronnie Phillips, the nucleus. I guess he's still the nucleus. We changed sports, but he's still the nucleus. Michael Pruitt on the top camera. Lance Evans on the floor camera. Here we go.
For the blue team, put your hands together for Trace Gibb. And his opponent.
A couple of the big boys coming out here.
Maddox.
There he is. Look at that. Look at that face. That's the good stuff. Sean, welcome back in here. I love seeing these youngsters, these youngins out there.
These guys show up to the duels and they get to watch the older kids come out and, walk out songs and get out on the big mat in front of everybody. And
it's a big deal.
For their opportunity to be out here, they got to warm up with the high school kids and be out here. This is something these kids will always remember.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I called you earlier today just because we were excited about getting for wrestling season to start, and you answered the phone, and I started screaming, "It's wrestling season!" So it was, it's a fun time for everybody, whether you're an old kid like me or a young kid like these two out here going at it, Maddox, Seifert, and Tress Gibbs. It's just it's good to see them out there. So good to see them out there.
Yeah, both of these guys, their families are Guthrie people.
Yep.
They play football, they play baseball, and they wound up in the wrestling room. And really, Trace's older brother's going to wrestle tonight as well. Yep. Maddox's older brother and his sister wrestle. The wrestling families they've become, and it's been really great. These two guys have been battling it out the last couple of years in a room, and one day they're battling, one day one's getting the best of the other.
Oh, yeah.
And then, last night again we were watching these two wrestle. We're we're going to put them out there and let them put on a show. They're both going to compete.
Well, and that's the good thing. Of course, a lot of people we might have there we go, back to his base. Good job.
So he's going to see Maddox is posturing down here. I'm sorry, Maddox was running the half, and Trace, he postured down on that arm. And that's really, defensively, that's what we show, and that's what he's doing,
Yep.
Back on that cradle.
Yep. Got that in there pretty good.
If
that chin up just a little bit.
He started thinking. He's like, all right, I got my shoulder up. Now I got to get my hands out.
Yep.
Now I got to fight. 1, 2, 3. It didn't happen natural.
It's processing, though.
Yeah, he's doing the right steps, but you see him walking through the steps. That's that experience.
Maddox staying with that.
Maddox really doing a good job on this cradle.
He really is. There he got the fall.
Nice job for him.
Got the fall.
I see him hit that cradle a lot, and he held that cradle tonight. That was very nicely done.
Here we go. Good instant replay here. Generations Church.
You'll see it from that other side. He's looking. He's getting that arm up.
There's the fall. Here's another shot out of here. Well, look at the determination on the face. He's getting every ounce of it. I got it. Give it to me. There you go. One more shot here. Another great angle by our cameraman. This is what you love. You just love to see these kids competing down here like this. Great shot. So we're going to stay here, get ready for our next match. Looks like we're going to have Isabella Rose. Isabella coming onto the mat. Cadence Bevens for the white team. Again, two of these young ladies, the women's wrestling in Guthrie is growing quickly, and it'll do nothing but continue to grow. Bring Sean back on here with us, but see Cadence and Isabella. Now, Isabella, I think last year was her first year wrestling, I believe, wasn't it?
Both these girls started last year, and really, they both took to it. It was funny. They both wrestled freestyle this summer, too, so they had the normal season. They came back around for freestyle and competed. I think both the girls wrestled in 2 or 3 tournaments. They showed up to practice most days in the summer,
That's awesome.
As much as any of the guys. They really fell in love with the sport. And, Bella's younger brother was tagging along all the time. And about the third tournament, he wouldn't get off my hip. And he's, Coach, I want to wrestle. Coach, I want to wrestle. So I told him he had to hold off till the year started. And we got him in the room, and now he's down here on the sidelines wishing he had a match tonight.
That's awesome.
He's 5 weeks into it, and he's ready to compete.
But that's how it happens.
Absolutely.
You get the older sibling, get the younger siblings interested. I mean, it's just, and again, this is such listen, all sports hopefully have a family element, but wrestling, you don't have a choice. There's a family element to it. I mean, see the good shot of the youngster over there. Hopefully he's waiting to get on the mat later.
Yeah, these girls, it's funny. They're competing tonight, but really they became friends over wrestling. I saw a couple of the tournaments last year. Bella was riding with Cadence's family, and then the next weekend, Cadence was riding with Isabella's family because, parents are dividing and conquering and trying to catch all the activities and work, and just everybody teaming up together to make it work, A
lot going on. Now, Sean, I mean, you talk about wrestling your friends. You've wrestled, 1,200, 1,500 matches? I mean, a ton of matches. Of course, those of you who don't know, Sean, 2-time national champion, University of Central Oklahoma, and multi-All-American in the UCO Hall of Fame. for his exploits on the wrestling mat. And the people really don't know this. I knew Sean when he was a kid. He didn't know me, but I knew him. We lived in the same town in Kansas, and I watched you your senior year wrestle.
Really?
Yeah. You're a little fluffier than you were back then.
Yeah, it's funny. I quit working out, and then I got big.
Happens to all of us.
My whole time I was trying to work out and get big, and I couldn't,
But you talk about when you wrestle so many matches you have, you're going to ultimately wrestle against guys that are close friends of yours.
Absolutely. Some of my closest friends were my wrestling partners. Right. We're battling for varsity positions, In college, it was the funniest thing, in college we had roommates in the room battling for varsity positions, fist fighting.
Oh, yeah.
And then after practice, riding home together.
Go get something to eat.
And going out and hanging out and just living life, doing life together, and they're fighting out here in the middle of the mat,
Well, if you're a heavyweight, you're going to get something to eat, I should say.
Yeah, it depends on what time of the year.
That's right. Depends on time of year. Now, do you see, I know you said earlier, the fastest growing women's sport is wrestling.
Yeah.
Is it just because you think it's more accepted? It has a lot to do with the fact that they've said women, I think young ladies are going to wrestle young ladies.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of it.
I think that's huge. And, I will say this, going back to needs that we have, every team that I've seen that has huge numbers, they have a women's coach.
Yes.
And that really, once they get a woman's coach that can go out and recruit those girls, can take care of those girls. Those girls can have their own facility, their own place. Now it's more accepting to even the girls there's a lot of girls out there on the fence on whether or not they want to do this.
Yeah.
And that pushes them over the fence. Our girls are still, our men's coaches, they're really doing double duty. They're paid to do one sport, but they're coaching two.
Coaching
two teams, And the girls are in there battling with the guys, and that can be intimidating.
Oh, no doubt.
And these girls, hats off to them. They're in there battling with the boys. They're practicing with them and everything.
Yeah, and I think the market sets everything. In this case, the market is how many kids are wanting to wrestle.
Absolutely.
And there is a time, and we're there now, where we've got to address these things. And and listen, money's tied everywhere for school districts, cities, counties. It's tied everywhere, but this is worthwhile. This is our future. These are our kids. We got to figure out a way to get the facilities they need and the things they need, and especially these young ladies. They need to have an opportunity. If you're a young lady and you want to wrestle in Guthrie, Oklahoma, you should have an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And we're definitely building towards that.
Yeah.
We do have a ton of interest with these younger girls. And it's been, like I say, these two girls, they've been wrestling for a year.
Yeah.
They know their positions. They know where they're at. And they'll get in there and battle. I've seen both these girls, walking off the mat with bloody noses.
Oh, yeah.
And, that just – and both of them, especially, Isabella, I've gotten pretty close to her over, this freestyle season and her family. And just with everything going on in her life, she's able to show up. She's getting better. She's getting more confident. She's growing. And it's been really, really neat to see.
Growing as a person.
Absolutely. She's turning into a young woman with a lot of confidence.
Well, and we know her mother. Yeah. and she is super proud of her babies,
absolutely.
as she should be, and as I hope all parents are. But we know her mom is very, very proud. After every match last year, we'd get an update from her on how it went and how things are going, and we love to see that.
For sure. This match here, I was going to say before it started, a little late now, but I figured it would come down to a takedown.
Yeah.
They're both going to get away. I've seen that, but one of them's going to have to score a takedown here. Someone's going to have to take a risk. Isabella just about had it, but Caden's not one to give up that spot.
Yeah. Now, are these girls same class? You may have said that. Are they sophomores?
Yeah, they're same age. They're both. They're eighth grade girls.
These are eighth grade girls.
Eighth grade girls. Yep.
Oh, good.
They've got a future ahead of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
No doubt about it.
And for girls wrestling, they got an early start considering. So they'll be ahead of the game for sure. And like say in the room, they're able to battle each other every day, make each other better.
Well, and this is good to see and. Really good match. 1-1 right now. Just 30 seconds left in the match.
Really, they're both fighting for hand position. One of them's going to have to get an angle. There, she's got it.
Yeah.
They're trying to. One of them's going to have to get an angle or move that head position.
Oh, here we go.
Take a risk.
Right
20
here.
seconds to go.
Oh. Got to finish that.
Looks like Bella is a little bit tired here. And her and Caden's battling it out here, hand fighting for position. Really, you got to get the hands out of the way in order to get to the legs.
Get the legs.
But you also got to get the head out of the way.
Yeah.
So if you grab the head, they get your hands. It's just a hand fight. really it's quite the game here. Isabella getting a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, now the way overtime works, the first point wins. So whether that's a takedown, whether that's a penalty point, it's a minute on the clock, but the first girl to score will win this match.
Yeah.
And if it goes beyond that minute, then we'll explain the rules of the overtime for the 30-second goes. But
gets interesting the deeper you go. See what – I don't know what had Isabella frustrated, but she was a little frustrated there. Probably with herself about something.
Yeah, she was concerned about the headgear of the hair.
Yeah.
It's an issue there. They used to make them keep the hair in the bonnet, and the girls said there's no point. We don't practice with it anyway. We don't care. They're, traditionally girls have, you wouldn't think they're as tough as they are.
Oh, no.
But let me tell you, they're as tough as any guy out there.
I got a sister that'll stand up and fight you like a man. Let me tell you right now.
So you'll see, their hair will be out. They'll do their thing, and they don't care. They'll keep on competing. So. Like I say, they're starting to get a little physical now out there. I think the
competitive juices are flowing.
Yeah, earlier I think they were working together a little bit more so than now. Now there's a little bit more desperation.
So let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Sean.
One of them is bound. All right, so they're gonna flip the coin, I believe. I guess they're gonna give it to green. So there's gonna be 2 30-second goes. All right, so one's gonna start on. One will get their choice. They'll go on bottom. If they get away, they'll continue to wrestle.
Right.
And there will be a score. And then the other girl will get her choice. She'll probably go down, whatever. And they'll get a chance to match that score, beat that score.
Right.
So it's basically whoever's ahead at the end of the 2 30-second periods. So right now, Cadence is winning, but Isabella's going to get a chance to get away as well. Now, if she gets a takedown, those points will add into that as well. So it's almost like overtime, the points will accumulate over these next 2 30-second goes.
Well, they're battling.
Definitely. We're definitely getting the match now.
We're getting some heavy hands up there, too.
Sure. Yeah.
You'll see that. I think we're going to stop her there, it looks like. 2-1. Good match. Good match.
I guess I was wrong on the rules of the overtime. Perhaps junior high has a different rule, or maybe there's a new rule I'm not aware of.
Well, or they said that's enough.
Well, let's take a quick break here, and then we will resume.
F&M Bank loves giving back to the communities we live and serve in. Banking with us ensures your money goes back into your community. Our goal is to provide you with reliable banking you can trust, delivered with unique passion for service. F&M Bank has all the modern banking services, mobile banking, lending, reward checking, electronic checking, and more. We invite you to come see us at any of our 8 locations. Come see what relationship banking is all about. F&M Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. You're lost out there and you're all alone. A light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look.
Welcome back to the Guthrie Blue and White Dual here at Guthrie High School. And we start match number 10 of the evening. Colin Waters versus Cary. There's Cade, a young up-and-coming wrestler, as well as Colin. Welcome back, Sean.
Welcome back. Yes, another exciting junior high match here. There is a weight discrepancy here, but these guys battle it out good in a room, and coaches want to put on a good match. They thought it would be good for both of these guys to get some experience just to compete.
Well, and I do. I think it's great. You want to get 2 kids out there regardless of weight. And those coaches aren't going to put kids in situations where the weight's so bad it's going to create a problem. But
yeah, for sure.
But boy, he's in there deep.
Yeah, so you've kind of got to so Cade's been wrestling now for a while. Last year competed at the state tournament for us with the Team Guthrie, but he's been wrestling more than he's competed.
Right.
He's a wrestling family. His older brother's a state placer. His younger brother's fixing to be, or middle brother. Now he's the youngest, but Cade in a room every day working hard. But he has a little more experience. Colin wrestled for the Team Guthrie when he was quite young. He wrestled as a little guy. I hadn't seen him in a few years, came back out in junior high. Like I said, Caleb's out there recruiting those boys. He's finding them somewhere. And he came back quite a bit more mature, quite a bit more developed. He's a good-looking kid.
Yeah, he is.
You know, and for his size, you know, in the room, he's been a hammer.
Yeah.
And you know, Cade, for his size in the room, has been a hammer.
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of experience versus new, but with that size discrepancy, I think we're going to see a pretty good match here.
Yeah, it looks like it so far. And again, you talk about these kids. I mean, the thing that stands out is, you know, just the hip strength of these young kids is amazing. And listen, that also comes from wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, you know, if you want to know how do you get strong hips, well, wrestle.
Yeah. Stay flexed, balanced for long periods of time and 2-hour practices, and you'll get that figured out.
I can't do anything for 2 hours anymore, Sean.
You can sleep, I bet.
No, I can't. I got to get up every 2 hours and go to the bathroom. It's terrible. Everything catches up with you.
So Cade down here struggling. He's struggling with that size. You know, I think he's used to being able to get up easily, and that's a big kid on top of him.
Yeah.
You know, and really Colin doing a nice job keeping pressure on top. You know, he didn't just lay there. He's really keeping pressure.
Well, Colin's an aggressive kid. You can see that.
Yeah, I was in practice, you know, a couple of weeks ago. I get there for the kids' practice about the time junior high is finishing up. So I get a peek in on some of my old guys and check in on them. And I said, who's this Colin kid?
Yeah.
You know, and so he asked me, he goes, did you used to have a man bun? And I said, I did. He goes, you used to coach me when I was little. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's right.
I remember you.
Yeah, so it was nice to catch up with him. Good to see him back on the mat.
Yeah.
Like I say, just aggressive, you know. Again, a kid that doesn't know a ton right now, but what he does know, he's doing hard.
He's strong. You can tell he's exceptionally strong. And there is, and you've talked about it, there is a significant, I mean, there's a real weight difference here, and that matters. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, but both very good young wrestlers.
Experience here. That half Nelson, you'll see it run a lot. We run a lot of halves here.
Yeah.
Elbow high half is what we like to show. The kids aren't doing a great job of getting that elbow high, but we're getting those halves on. But you can't do two at the same time. That's called a full Nelson.
That's a full Nelson.
In
That's
professional wrestling, it's completely acceptable.
Well,
but
I saw
in collegiate,
Bulldog Bob Brown win a lot of matches with that.
Yeah, it's
Submitted
effective.
a lot of people.
It's effective, but it's also very dangerous. So
you know, our nucleus and I can't remember the name of it, but at the Evans house, Chris had a wrestling move, and I can't remember the name of it now. What was it? I'll have to get it at the break. But Chris, the Breathtaker. Chris Evans was the inventor, creator, and implementer of the Breathtaker against his much younger brother numerous times, I've heard. So we have wrestlers all over here.
I may have to have him show me that.
The Breathtaker.
We might be able to. Maybe we'll see that at the next duel. We can put that in our arsenal.
I don't think it's legal. It's been described to me. I don't think we can do it.
We may have to modify that a little bit.
Yeah, modify the Breathtaker a little bit.
We'll get it. You know, Cade's doing a nice job down here battling.
Yeah.
He's doing the right things. As a locked hands there, the referee's missing, but he's doing the right things. But 20 pounds is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it is.
He's up against it. And, it's a testament to how good he is. The coaches, he's one of our better junior high wrestlers.
Yeah.
And coaches are like, you know what? Let's get him in a match that's competitive.
Yeah.
Let's get him out here. He needs this experience.
It'll make him better.
Absolutely. If the best matches you see are going to be at a tournament, you're going to be surprised. You're going to struggle. It's going to be hard. But if you can find those matches in a duel like this, or find those matches in the room, well, then when you see that in a tournament or in a duel format, it's not a big deal. You're used to it, so.
Well, you've already fought that fire, right?
Absolutely.
You've already faced the fire in the room, and or in an exhibition, or I mean, it's and again, I know we keep saying this, or I keep saying this. Mat time's so critical.
Absolutely,
to a kid's development.
He was able to fight those hands, which loosened it up where he could spin, which got him that leg.
He's battling.
He's having to piece together a lot of right things. Nice headlock.
Watch out now. Watch out now. He's got it tight.
A big change of matches
here.
Got
it tight. 8 seconds. See if he's got it. He got it.
Got that right at the end. Just, a gritty performance by Cary.
Just battled.
Really, just, wasn't having much luck, was getting kind of hossed around a little bit, and found a way to get off bottom and make that happen. Nice highlight reel here.
And watch this right here. I mean, you can see him setting it up, and
he said, what?
Right here, right there it is. Yeah, just walked right into it.
Nicely done.
And then he did a great job securing the fall.
Yeah,
didn't give up on it. So we're going to take a quick break. Come back. More action. Guthrie Blue and White.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
I've known John for a long time. I like the fact that I can drive into the Autoplex and I know I'm going to get greeted by a courteous salesperson that's really there to help me. Not to pressure me to buy a car, but to help me. I've sent a lot of people to John. They make you feel like they were very, very glad you bought a car from John Vance.
John Vance Auto Group, it's all true.
John Vance Auto Group.
We are back. The Blue and White Wrestling Duel, kicking off this 2023-2024 wrestling season. Getting ready for our next match of the evening. Young Levi Potter coming on the mat. It's Caden Hall. He'll be Caden enters the match as well. And my partner, Sean Silvis, back in.
You know, Phil, one of the things I love most about that is if you watch the walkouts, you see a line of Team Guthrie wrestlers down on the floor coming out here to support their guys.
Yep. 100%.
As one of their coaches, that makes me so proud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just seeing that support, I think they're all chomping at the bit to be out here.
Yeah, they all want to.
They want to be out here, so that is so great to see. Just the excitement, you know, from them.
No question.
So these two battled out at a tournament. Again, they were in the medal rounds of a tournament. That's a common thing for Guthrie wrestling these days. There's been a lot of other teams noticing that, hey, Guthrie's got a team now.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a lot of bodies in the room. We got a lot of kids at tournaments, a big crowd, and we're getting a lot of medals. These kids are coming out placing in medals. These two competed for a medal at a tournament. You know,
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's 4 medals given, and we're getting 2 of them. So it's great to hear. But anyway, they wrestled down to a 1-point match, and so we thought, well, that's going to be a good match. We'll put these guys together.
Hall's in a good position here.
Yeah, he's got that cradle locked up, but Levi's got his head over top.
Yeah, he's not going to get the pin from there.
Yeah, and if he gets him legs broke,
he could pin him. He could
end himself right back into another 5-point situation.
That's right. That's what he's working for. You can see it. Right there it is. Right there it is.
You could tell he knew where he was, and he knew what he was wanting to do.
Talking about being situationally aware on the mat awareness, you saw it right there.
Absolutely. You know, and these guys have both been wrestling now for a couple of years. I think 3 years for both of them. They're going to be in the junior high next year.
Wow.
Look at that fall by Levi Potter.
Outstanding.
Wow.
What a great
job by both of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, Levi ends up with the fall, but Caden, I tell you, it's just that's part of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you'll see it here on the replay. Young Potter was patient, knew where he was at on the mat.
Yeah, no fault there to Caden. He got a nice takedown, got himself on a nice cradle, got him some back points, and then somehow Levi just determined to get out there and make something happen.
But it all started with him not panicking when he found himself in that situation.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. Those matches of experience really played a role there.
I think we're getting ready for our next match. We'll have Bailey Harden, it looks like, going up against Paulie Self. Again, we want to welcome everybody. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast this evening. Of course, we want to take this opportunity to thank our great sponsors and make all this possible so we can come up and highlight these outstanding Blue Jay wrestlers of all ages tonight. We'll be with you all season long. We'll be doing wrestling home duels and away duels, as well as home basketball games. And we appreciate our great sponsors very much. Sean? 2 more of these young ladies.
Yeah, excited to see. Both these girls started wrestling this year.
Okay.
This is their first year. So Bailey is Bailey is the sister of Aiden, who wrestled our first match. He was the tall, skinny wrestler from the first match who did well. Watched her brother wrestle all last year. Her dad was a little bit leery. He said, I don't know if I want my daughter wrestling. I don't know. And after watching the girls compete against girls last year, he said, you know what, I think this would be good for her. So he puts her in there. First practice, she come out of there smiling. Loved every minute of it.
Love it.
Hasn't missed a minute since. She's
got that blood in her.
Absolutely. She wrestles, she started kind of coming around freestyle season.
Yeah.
And trying it out and just kind of feeling it out.
My goodness, she looks like her grandmother. She looks like her grandma Lemoyne. Holy smoke, she looks like her grandma. Wow.
But yeah, she came out, fit right in with the girls. Of course, all the boys love her. She works hard.
Yeah.
She's a hard worker. Came out and really just shows up every day.
Nice reversal there.
Wrestles with the junior high kids and then shows up for the Little League practice and wrestles another hour and a half. So she's getting 3 or 4 hours a day on a wrestling mat, 5 days a week.
You love it if you're putting that kind of time in.
Absolutely.
And get those hips break down. She's break down these hips. There she goes.
I could put her against a rattlesnake and she wouldn't even balk at it. She'd just get out there and go.
Working that half again. We talked about it. They love that half.
Yep. Paulie came in this year to junior high. The coaches have had a lot of good things to say about her. She's still green.
Yep.
Doesn't know a lot about wrestling, but she's aggressive. You saw that on the double leg off the go. She's got to get more tools in the toolbox.
Yeah.
But she definitely has that wrestling spirit.
Just got to stay with it. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Fall for Bailey Harden.
Absolutely. Great match by both those girls.
So, tell you what, we're getting down there. I'm excited about the final match. That's the one I want to see.
The final match is definitely going to be a feature.
That's what it's all about. Sean's talked about all night we've talked back and forth about the youth program, all the different things that's happening to grow wrestling in Guthrie and it's happening, folks. I mean, there's 112, I think Sean said, 115 kids in the youth room and junior high room. There's about 50 kids in the junior high room, and the high school room is full. It's good to see. Next match here, we've got Clayton, Cary, going up against Colby Wilder. This is freshman versus seniors. I bring Sean back in.
Yes, freshman versus senior. I'm actually excited for this matchup. These last two matchups, they come with a little bit of, the other matches have been entertainment. We're trying to get these kids matches, mat time, experience. This match and the next high school match is going to be, this is for a varsity spot.
Yeah.
And Clayton is a very good freshman. We saw Wyatt wrestle earlier. He's a little more green.
Yep.
But Clayton is not. Clayton's a banger. He wrestled all through junior high, had a ton of success.
Yeah, been on it forever.
And has had a great summer. He's put in a lot of time.
Yep.
And this season, he's in the room now with Luke Lyons and Dax Lopez.
Yep.
Both kids that are expected to be on the podium. He wrestles with them every day. And so I'm excited about this because Colby's a veteran. He's a very talented wrestler, but Colby's been in football.
Yeah.
So he's been at it, this is his third day on the mat.
Yeah.
Since football season. So with a lot of talent, I'm curious to see as this match goes on how it plays out as Colby starts to fade, which he will. Yeah. Clayton's going to stay in this match, and, we're going to see a nice match between the present and then the future.
Yeah, Colby gets the takedown there.
Yeah, and a nice takedown. Colby's very good on that high crotch.
Yeah.
He will turn that high crotch into a half.
Yeah.
And pin. That's like his signature move.
Yeah, Clayton right back up the escape. See what he's working here. Yeah, you watch this young Cary kid, you can tell the kids that grew up wrestling in a wrestling family. I mean, they approach the whole match differently. Of course, Colby, very, very good wrestler in his own right, obviously, and he is the present. But I'll tell you what, Clayton is really showing himself well here Doing an outstanding job, Sean.
Yeah, for sure. Clayton, again, when we talk about experience, he has had a lot of matches, a lot of experience. Over the years, he's a veteran wrestler as a freshman.
Yep.
And comes from a wrestling line.
Correct.
His brother was I believe he took 4th place as a senior, and really started late.
Yep.
Late, just built just like his brother, strong, athletic, good. He looks just like him out there wrestling. But Clayton's got by the time he gets to that point, he's going to have more mat time than his brother even did. So we're expecting a lot of good things out of Clayton in the future for sure.
Got some blood time, looks like.
And tonight, he's out here battling a senior for a varsity spot. And I'm sure this won't be the only match these two wrestle for that varsity position. It's going to be a back and forth. But I will say, if I'm Colby Wilder right now, I'm glad that this blood time is happening. I mean, the camera's not on him, but I wish I'd have looked as good as him as a freshman. I mean, look at the physique on that kid.
Yeah, I know. Be good we can get that shot there, getting coached up by Bryson Hall.
Yeah, and this is, Colby and Wesley, over
good
here.
Shot of Bryson.
Yeah, Bryson's over here coaching up Clayton. Bryson battled out with his brother when his brother was still here. Bryson was a freshman, and now he's coaching the younger brother. Nice to see. If you look in the background there, Wesley's coaching up Colby. These guys grew up wrestling together. My wife posted a picture on Facebook a few weeks ago for Senior Day, and these two were barely big enough to fit in a singlet.
I saw it.
They're holding medals half the size of their head, and so it's just they're two really good friends out there.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook the other day.
Just encouraging each other.
Yep.
It's fun to see this.
Yep. Get back out of here. 3-2 right now.
Yeah, and Colby's as good as any kid you'll see. Colby hasn't had a season where he's been able to put all that together.
Right.
If that comes, he's as good as anybody.
Yeah, he can make a run.
It's been up and down. It's been hot and cold between coming in late with football and injuries. I mean, the things that make wrestling hard, Colby's been on the bad side of that, unfortunately. So he hasn't got a chance to have that run that he needs. And, really, he's in there battling against a young freshman that wants that spot.
Yeah.
So, these guys.
He's earning the spot right now.
Yeah.
Up 3-2.
And what's exciting to me and coaches both, this is going to be the room every day.
Yeah.
From now until Christmas. Or now until March.
Wow.
Nice ankle pick.
Great ankle pick.
Nice ankle pick.
Threw that crossface in there. Get a little dirty there. I love that. I mean, dirty in a good way.
Dirty in a good way. They drilled this about 2 weeks ago in practice. My son hit one of these on me. I said, "Where'd you learn that?" He said, "Jeremy showed me."
Colby right here, getting
back.
the reversal.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
great match.
Again, for those of you that haven't seen a ton of wrestling, what you're seeing here is what our room looks like most
every
of the
day,
time.
Yeah.
And it's not just two guys out there. There's groups of 4, all this competitive, and they're making each other better. And our coaches go around, try to match these kids up. When they're having off days, we find somebody they can wrestle. When they're having good days, we find somebody they can wrestle. And these two here.
And Clayton's, he's doubled it up right now.
Colby did a nice job basing up here.
He did.
As he's fading, I was afraid he might just lay there this period, but he said, "No, I'm going to get it." He found a way to get up. Staying solid here, but Clayton is not letting up.
Clayton's working.
Yeah, he's definitely
looking for
hungry.
that cradle.
Yes,
looking for the cradle. He's got it.
These points are going to be huge here.
Yeah, big time.
With 10 seconds to go, he might go for the fall here. That shoulder of Colby's falling down on the inside.
He's got that chin up. There you go.
He's pushing the hips away. That shoulder's going down. He's got 3 seconds to go.
Got him. Wow.
He made all the right adjustments on that cradle. Colby did the right thing. He got that arm up. He got it in between the head. And Clayton just kept scooting the hips, scooting the hips, and was able – you saw that shoulder drop. And when that shoulder dropped, it was all she wrote,
Yeah, great job.
Nice job. Both guys, what a great match.
Sometimes the future is now. See the replay there, getting the fall for Cary. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have 2 matches remaining in the blue and white duel.
Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Welcome back. Got the final 2 matches of the evening, the Guthrie Blue and White Wrestling Duel. Had some outstanding matches tonight. Got to see all different ages of kiddos out there competing. We got Ryan Miller coming out. Rowan McCone will be his opponent this evening. I'll bring my friend Sean back in.
Sorry, I feel like I got to keep dipping out.
You're doing good, brother. You're doing good. Multitasking. Tell us about these 2 youngsters,
This
Sean.
is another freshman versus senior ranking match. This is, again, Rowan started wrestling.
Which is which?
So Rowan's in the white.
Okay.
And Ryan is in the blue.
Freshman is
Rowan.
Okay.
And Ryan is the senior. Now, Ryan wrestled varsity all last year. Made it all the way to regionals, got beat out there, had a good year. He ran into a couple of buzzsaws.
There we go.
There's a little headlock there.
Yeah, for a second.
He's a young wrestler, even though he's older. He doesn't have a ton of experience. Last year, kind of got thrown into varsity and got better on the fly. He was able to make that varsity squad. Got better on the fly. Had some really good moments. Yeah. He also came up against some pretty stiff competition. Yeah. So he's looking to have a good senior campaign.
What weight class?
He's 52-ish.
And I'm going to tell you, that's where the athletes live.
Absolutely.
That's where the studs live.
Those kids that, if they were 180 pounds, would be playing, starting on a football team.
Absolutely.
They're not big enough to do that. And that's where they find themselves in this spot. So, Ryan got better as the season went on. His record doesn't show that, but he grew a lot. Yeah. And he got a lot better. Kids that pinned him in the first period at the regional tournament, he's losing by 2 or 3.
He's walking us around.
Absolutely.
Picking up some back points here. Now, this might be.
Rowan started wrestling as a 7th grader. 8th grade last year was his second year, wrestled freestyle all summer, and I really saw him turn a corner during freestyle this year.
Yeah.
He's not a kid that lacks aggression. He's a kid that lacks control. And so Rowan over this past summer has really learned how to control those emotions and really focus on what he needs to do on the mat, as shown tonight. He's a fiery wrestler. He's strong. He's athletic. He's tough.
See that was Generations Church replay getting the fall right there.
Yeah, very nicely done. He did a good job on the reversal. Yeah. And you notice there he got an opportunity to win that match, and he finished that match. Yeah. Excited to see, the future here. We had 2 freshmen. Just knock off 2 seniors.
Yeah, it's big time.
2 senior starters.
Big time.
So we've got a lot of good things in the pipeline.
Sean's going to switch over to his other duty. Sean's doing the PA as well tonight for us, and going to introduce these 2 young men in our final match of the evening. Looks like we'll have Shephard Harden going up against Slater Gibson. Again, we've seen all ages tonight. I don't know if we can get a shot of these kids coming in or not over here, but super match.
Team Guthrie, for the blue team, Shephard Harden.
These are our 5-year-old superstars coming out to decide the match tonight. See young Shephard out there getting ready to go.
Put your hands together for Slater
Here comes Slater Gibson coming out through the rings. Boy, he's been waiting to get on that mat all night. This is going to be a good one. Sean, we've been waiting on this all night. We hoped it would come down to this.
Phil, when we drew this up, my hope, I told you before the duel, is it would come down to the final match. I haven't looked at the team score all night. And as I was announcing that, I looked up, and it's worked out perfectly.
Slater in quick. Quick takedown for Slater.
This is 5 years old, 36 pounds.
Those are big boys out there. A lot of meat out there on the mat, let me tell you.
Both these guys started wrestling this year.
I love it.
Both of their bigger brothers are wrestling. Yeah. They've been chomping at the bit to get on a mat since last year. Finally, we let them out.
Let them out of the cage. Let them go. Let the big dogs hunt.
They wrestle for our Little Jays program. We got 35 of these little boogers out there.
That's awesome.
For our Little Jays, and it's like this every night, you know.
Look at the determination on the face. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
They're battling. Slater's on top right now. Shephard's doing a great job. He's get those hips up, get his base up a little bit. Well, there he goes. Gets that hips up.
You've heard me talk tonight a lot about Slater's dad, Caleb Gibson, a huge wrestling. So he's been huge for the sport in this town. But the Hardens, you've seen two other Hardens wrestle. So Sheps.
Got the reversal. Shephard battling.
Sheps 2-3 older cousins all wrestle.
Here he goes. Got the back. Look at that grin. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. You see it all right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your
It's a learning opportunity for both these kids. Great job by both young men. They should both be very, very proud. Did a great job. See on the Generations Church replay here, Shephard getting the reversal, getting him on his back, secures the fall. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back to wrap up tonight's Blue-White Duel.
We collectively have lost over 90 pounds now, are just feeling better than ever. There's a complete acceptance. There's zero judgment. Everybody's truly loved here. It's just such a great environment.
Countless people in the community that have been coming to Strive as clients are seeing real changes in their lives for the better. You should come down, say hi, get to know the people at Strive Wellness Lounge. They've got something here that's going to make your life better.
At Cary Insurance Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans. Seth Robbins, Jason Herzl, and Dennis Oaks aren't limited to any single provider. We'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Cary Insurance Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Cary Insurance Group at 405-293-4880 or stop by at 622 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Cary Insurance Group, insuring your world. At South Point Baptist Church, we want you to cheer loud and be proud as we send the Blue Jays to victory. Afterwards, join us each Sunday in our friendly family atmosphere. South Point invites you, your family, and friends to join us each week with Sunday school beginning at 10 a.m. and our morning service at 11 a.m. South Point wishes all students this season to make fun and exciting memories not only on the playing field, but in the classroom as well. And as always, go Blue Jays.
When garage door problems occur, don't call a kind of service company or maybe a repair guy. Call Paul Creed at A-Team Overhead Door. Paul owns and operates his company and has over 15 years of experience in residential and commercial overhead door service. Paul provides all garage door services from repairs to installations. With free estimates, Paul will work with you to decide the best possible solution for your garage door or opener problems. Call A-Team Overhead Door today, 405-642-7065.
F&M Bank loves giving back to the communities we live and serve in. Banking with us ensures your money goes back into your community. Our goal is to provide you with reliable banking you can trust, delivered with a unique passion for service. F&M Bank has all the modern banking services, mobile banking, lending, reward checking, electronic checking, and more. We invite you to come see us at any of our 8 locations. Come see what relationship banking is all about. F&M Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. You lost out.
Welcome back. Looks like we're getting ready to wrap up a great night of wrestling with some fun at the end of the match. I don't know if we've got a shot on this or not, but here we go. The pie in the face. Is this little brother against big brother? What do we got here? Oh! That's what happens when you don't win the match. Get a pie in the face. Having fun at Guthrie High School tonight. Great duel between the Guthrie Blue and White teams. Came down to the very last match. Shephard Harden securing the fall. We're going to take a quick break. Come right back. Have interviews with head coach.
There's one big difference between Vance Auto Group and the other dealers: transparency. We show all the discounts and rebates on our website long before you arrive. See your monthly payment, your current vehicle's value, Carfax, and everything about the vehicle you're interested in buying. You can even buy any vehicle, new or pre-owned, without leaving home, right from our website. Buy with transparency at the John Vance Auto Group.
John Vance Auto Group.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
For centuries, it was a windswept prairie until the run of '89 saw settlers scramble for land and life in a newborn town as Oklahoma's territorial capital, Guthrie. Bank First is loyal to the preservation movement that reclaimed Oklahoma's first state capital. And we're loyal to the banking legacy born at the corner of First and Oklahoma streets. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Welcome back to the Guthrie Blue and White Wrestling Duel. We're wrapping some things up, giving out some prizes, had some raffle tickets, doing all that kind of good stuff. Getting ready here in a second to have interviews with head wrestling coach Sean Silvis is going to be doing it. I'm going to throw it over to Sean. Well, I'm going to try to. We got to get control of where people walk. This is our scrimmage too. We're going to go over to Sean right now.
All right, guys. Sorry, a little bit of chaos down here.
There we go.
Are we on? We got it?
Got her. Go right ahead.
Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Go ahead. I think so. I can't.
Working through it here.
All right, we got it now.
Got her, Sean. Go ahead.
There we go. Technical difficulties we got to work through, guys. All right, so I am here live with head coach Zaden Davenport. Zaden, first night, big opening kickoff. You got a pie to the face. Talk us through the night. How'd it go?
I think we were very well. I think the first ever chili cook-off. I think it was ecstatic. It was fun. Hey, bud, watch out, bud. So I think it was very ecstatic with the food. It was a success. We had really good matches, young guys, high school, junior high, from all age groups. Went out and competed. We saw a lot of good things. We battled our butts off, and I couldn't be any more proud. And the crowd that came out and supported this program was one of the best crowds I've seen in a long time, and I couldn't be more blessed and have this town behind this program and the way our athletes competed today.
A couple of things that stood out to me, Coach. You had two freshmen knock off two seniors, which really competitive matches, but it said a lot about, what you've got coming down the pipe. The future is looking bright. How excited are you to see such young kids be so competitive?
Those young guys, man, they're goers. They are gamers, man. They go out and they compete. They get better and better as the weeks go on. They're some freaking hard workers, man. They're like, I wish people could see behind the scenes of what goes down in that wrestling room, because they bust their butt every single day, and it showed out here today. And it's going to keep on happening. And man, I couldn't be more proud. And this program's in a great spot with all these young guys, from the junior high to our freshman crew. We have 13 freshmen, and 5 is probably going to be in the starting lineup for us, and our other 8 is going to be competing for our junior high. So the future's bright for this program.
Now, I got to mention, it was 31-33 going into the final match, and I had proposed a different lineup before this duel started, and you said, no, Coach, I want our 2 little guys to finish off this duel, because if we get lucky, it'll come. You called it early. How exciting was it? I mean, this place was lit. How fun was that?
I'll tell you, it's probably one of the most electric I've seen this crowd, watching the little 5-year-olds go duke it out, man. It was a joy to watch them little guys wrestle that they're getting at a young age. And, I mean, the enjoyment that everyone had watching them wrestle, I mean, I couldn't be more proud. I have a full heart right now watching them wrestle.
Good evening. Now, moving forward, what's up next for our high school team?
So, right now we're going to take a few guys out to Blanchard tournament for our girls, and some of our guys that, just can't make the weight right now. The weight certifications won't allow it, so they got to go on a slower descent plan. So some of those guys will be going out to Blanchard, and we kick off our first duel against Mustang next Thursday. And then we go straight into our national tournament in Mid-America, which, I mean, it's coming the best of the best wrestlers are there, and it's going to be a great tournament, and, I mean, it's going to be an exciting year.
Awesome. Well, Coach, a great night, a fun night. I appreciate you spending time with us. We'll see you next week. All right. Guys, back to you.
There you have it. Sean Silvis, Jaden Davenport, head coach for the Blue Jay wrestling team. Hey, so we are working through some things here with our broadcast. I apologize for that, but what a great evening was had tonight, Sean. And I think, one of the things you look at, it's all about the numbers, and we've got tremendous numbers with the Blue Jay wrestling program from youth all the way up. Going to see the replay here, the pie in the face, Generations Research. Is that little brother hitting big brother?
Well, it's big brother hitting little brother.
Little brother. Is that allowed?
Apparently, we let it happen.
Well, goodness gracious, pie in the face.
I felt like there was a little gusto behind that.
Yeah, there was. There was a little anger.
You talk about guys battling out in the room. Those two have been battling it out most of their life. But two good brothers. Blessed to have them here. You know, Zaden had done such a great job prior to Jeremy getting here, just growing as a coach. But Jeremy coming in last year has really just elevated things. It's allowed, the younger Davenport brother, who's our head coach, it's allowed him to really open up as a head coach and not have to stress so much about the little things. And Jeremy's just, the trust that those two have and the dynamic they have is second to none.
Right.
And I see that when I see our kids compete. They play off each other so well as coaches. They don't have to guess what the other one's thinking. They already know. And so it's such a blessing to have such a solid team of coaches up there at the high school.
Great coaches at all levels. Before we get out of here, I want you to walk through the next dual opportunity. Coach talked a little bit about it, but tell everybody again about the next dual opportunity. Come watch the Blue Jay wrestling team.
So Thursday night, we're going to have another duel much like this. It's next Thursday night. Next Thursday. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but it will be much like this. Junior high will compete starting at 6 o'clock. And then after the junior high competes, there'll be a short break, and then the high school will compete. Junior high matches usually, the whole duel usually 30, 45 minutes. High school duel is going to be an hour and a half of just solid intensity. You saw a couple of those matches at the end, and that's what you're going to see all the way across the board. It looks like, who are we wrestling? Yeah, December 7th against Mustang. December 7th, Mustang is going to come here. We're going to open it up and kick it off. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, that we will pack this house. And that is our goal this year, is to bring more and more and more people to see us showcase our athletes. We have a growing program, and it's going to be exciting. We're trying to make these duels a lot of fun. Having you guys here helping us out with the broadcast and all that is building that as well. But really, it's fun on the broadcast, but coming out in person is really where the electricity happens.
Yeah, a lot of electricity. I think, before we get out of here, Sean, I want to talk about all the great sponsors. We appreciate all of you coming out, supporting this broadcast, allowing us to put it out there for folks who can't get down here to enjoy watching their nieces, nephews, grandchildren, whoever it may be. We thank you so much for sponsoring this and making this all available, and this making it available for everybody to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's helping our program grow. And, together we're working together to just build this community. There's a lot of eyes on our wrestling program in town, but there's also a lot of eyes on our program outside of town. Hey, we're a growing program, and it's really fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, well, Sean, we're going to get out of here for the evening. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all the great people that put this on tonight, and thank our staff, our crew, Lance Evans on the camera, Michael Pruitt up top, Chris Evans making it go over here, the nucleus, Ronnie Phillips.
The nucleus made it back.
Ronnie Phillips, of course, my friend Sean Silvis, the voice of Guthrie Wrestling. We appreciate you. Thank me. Come and take this ride with you this year. I'm Phil Nichols. Tune in next Thursday night for Blue Jay Wrestling.